What I found most interesting about the play Intimate Apparel by Lynn Nottage was definitely just the character of George. I couldn't believe that he paid off a man in Panama City for 10 cents to write a letter to Esther and then 10 cents extra to make it look nice. And I just couldn't believe how fake he was and how he treated Esther once he arrived to the United States. The first point of tension I'd like to talk about is age. At the start of the play, we were told that Esther had just had her 35th birthday and had never really been in a serious relationship with a man, nor had she been married. And I think that she felt very pressured to find a man because the other women around her, one was a prostitute. Miss Dickinson and Miss Van Buren both already were married, although they were not happy relationships. They were married at a younger age, and I think there was a main big pressure on Esther to get married. Second would be the conflict between Mr. Mark and George. Although they never quite meet in the play, they are two completely different characters. I think it's interesting that Mr. Marks was the man that Esther really should have gone for. He was a businessman, he was trustworthy, respectful, and really treated her nicely, and they kind of had a flirtatious relationship. But she was kind of scared to go after him because of his religion. However, George was this man from Panama City who, in his letters, sounded like a great guy. But once he came to the United States, he kind of took all of Esther's money, cheated on her, and was a horrible husband. And she was the first to go for him, although he was a lie and a moocher. Um, the next struggle would be the struggle of race. I think this is because all that Esther really wants is to be respected as a hardworking, strong, and ambitious African American woman, but there's so many circumstances around her that don't allow her to do that, as I'll kind of touch on in the next point in the next question. I think that this play closely relates to the African American experience at the time. This can be seen greatly through Esther being illiterate. She does not know how to read or write. Um, she works a low paying job. It was either sewing intimate apparel or working in housekeeping, which she never wanted to do. And she really wants to open a African American pilot parlor so she can have respect for other women like the white women do when they go to a parlor. I think this definitely reinforces the understanding of the African American experience and how we view it because this time was 1905, and when I think about what African Americans faced during that time, it reminds me greatly of this play. However, I think that Lynn Nottage is really trying to reinvent the stereotypes and how we view African Americans. I think she wants us to realize that these struggles are still here, they're still present, and they're going to happen for a while. And I think she really wants the reader to really dig in and put ourselves in Esther's and the other African American people's shoes. I think that these stereotypes still definitely exist within American society, and I think this is mainly due to ill-informed citizens. We sometimes are very ignorant to situations that don't affect us, and I think that's a horrible thing. I think we don't have enough empathy and we don't really place ourselves in the other people's shoes and try to understand all the factors that are influencing those around us. I think a major force of change that could be this would be how the media really portrays these events that are happening and to not only cover the good news but the bad news and to really give a fair side of both accounts. I think that people who speak out and are not afraid to just say the truth and to just tell things as it is, whether it's good or bad, but to really just not be afraid to stand up from the crowd and stick up for all those around us will change the situation greatly.